What's up, Pawn family? It's Yigal, and today I want to talk to you about something pretty funny. What I usually do is I have these notes in my cell phone, and I come up with these ideas for conversations I want to have, or just kind of these live videos with you guys. And today I was kind of looking through that list, and I wrote down something that I thought was pretty funny. And as you can tell in the title of this video, it's "You've got three balls, use them." So as I was thinking about what that meant to me, right? The pawn shop sign, the three balls, and they've been around for thousands of years. But what does it really mean? And I know that there's a meaning to it, but I guess what I want to say to you guys is a lot of times I walk into pawn shops, I talk to pawnbrokers, but they don't have any balls. They've been doing the same thing for the last 15 years. They're afraid of firing somebody who's a pawn pirate in their store. They're afraid to do a marketing thing that they haven't done in a while. They are afraid to make an investment in a new software or in a coaching program or to buy a new piece of hardware. But yet every time I'm at a conference or a convention, we call ourselves the three baller. Oh, we're the three ballers. I've got three balls. Just because you have a pawn shop and we deal with clients doesn't mean you've got three balls. One of the most important parts of leadership is courage. And there's books like, Dichotomy of Leadership and Extreme Ownership and Living with a SEAL, and like all these books about these Navy SEALs who really have courage and who really go into the battlefield and fight. And a lot of times I see pawnbrokers not willing to fight for, their team, not willing to fight for what they really want in life, not willing to fight for their families. A lot of pawnbrokers are getting divorced. A lot of pawnbrokers are addicted to a substance. A lot of pawnbrokers don't want to change, the color of the store because they've been there for 70 years. So why do we call ourselves three ballers? Why do we think that we've got these big balls just because we have a pawn license? Leadership takes courage. It takes doing things and learning things that you wouldn't do before. It takes admitting when you're wrong and saying, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. It takes apologizing. That's leadership. It takes having courageous conversations with your staff, with your loved ones. It takes being courageous with yourself, with doing something that you've always wanted to do. Now, I've jumped out of a plane. That's kind of crazy, but courageous at the same time. But many of you have always had a passion and a hobby that you just never started. Many of you know that you need to walk into a gym and want to, but say that the trainer is too expensive, even though you're hoarding merchandise. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've got three balls, if you're a pawnbroker, then use them. Don't go around pounding your chest saying, I'm a three baller, and being so proud of the fact that, the logo has three balls if you're not going to be courageous, if you're going to be a coward. Because being a pawnbroker and having three balls means that you're a step above the regular person, a step above a regular business owner or an entrepreneur. Being courageous means having conversations that you don't want to have. It means having confrontation with people that you don't want to have, but that you know that you have to, so there is an awkward moment, or so that you can just get your business going. There's people in your staff right now who shouldn't be there, who you've been holding on to because you're scared. You have pawn pirates who are there sucking the energy out of you, who are stealing your treasure. Yes, the pawn pirates are stealing your treasure and you're letting them do it. Be courageous. Go talk to your spouse if things aren't working out right. Go spend some time with your kids if you haven't seen them in a long time. Go apologize to somebody who you messed up with. Go get some help if you need it. A therapist, a psychologist, an AA meeting. I don't care what it is. Go be courageous. Because in order to make an incredible business, you have to be courageous. In order to live an epic life, you have to be courageous. In order to have an epic family, you have to be courageous. In order to be courageous, you have to have clarity. You have to know exactly what's going on. You have to stop lying to yourself. You have to stop holding everything in. And you've got to let it out. It's one of the beauties of the mastermind. There's no judgment in there. We share it all. What's happening in our lives, in our relationships, in our business, because that's what grows successful business owners and entrepreneurs. Yes, your KPIs are important. Yes, your pawn yield is important. Yes, your inventory turn is important. But most importantly is your leadership skills and how courageous you can be to make the choices, the decisions, and to have the conversations that you have to have that epic life. Now, some of you are watching saying, I don't know what you're talking about. I guarantee you there's a place in your life that you've kind of pushed back that you're not dealing with. There's a person who you haven't spoken to in some years. There's somebody who you haven't apologized to that you really should apologize to. There's an employee who's been sitting in your staff for 5 years who you're suffering and they're suffering because they're in the wrong seat on the wrong bus. And who you haven't had the courage to have a conversation with. Because you felt that being a coward is the way to go. Well, if that's the case, take the 3 balls off your pawn shop. Because the 3 balls signify more courage for me. So when you go to these conferences, when you're talking to other pawnbrokers, when you're pounding your chest, think about it. Ask yourself this question. Say, have I been courageous enough in my life? Have I been courageous enough in my marketing? Have I been courageous enough in my relationship? Have I been courageous enough with myself? Or any other relationship that you have in your life? We are pawnbrokers. We go through stuff every single day. And the fact is that if you're gonna have 3 balls, use them. If you're not going to, maybe get your logo changed. But I know that deep down in each and every one of you, you want to become courageous. You want to do what's right, say what needs to be said, confront what needs to be confronted. Because if you don't, all that happens is there's anxiety, there's depression, there's resentment. And that is a toxic cocktail to take down every single day. That's why people chain smoke. That's why people are drinking all day long. That's why people are eating hamburgers and drinking the sweet tea and they weigh 300 pounds. They can barely get up. I see pawnbrokers at conferences and I just want to walk up and be like, what's wrong, man? What haven't you dealt with? What do you need to deal with in order to become healthier? So become courageous. Use the 3 balls. Go to pawnleaders.com and take the leap of faith. Join the mastermind. Because if you don't have the 3 balls now, I promise you, you'll have 3 balls when you're in that mastermind. And you'll use them to make more money. You'll use them to stress less. And you will use them to have an epic life. Have an incredible weekend. I'll talk to you guys soon.